watching Friday Night Live, brought to you by Kern Schools Federal Credit Union. Together, we have something special.
Those Eagles running into the semifinals with a lot of hype, and welcome into Friday Night Live. I'm Carrie Yosef for week 14 of high school football, which means we're now in those semis. 4 teams made it to this round of elimination games, including the Bakersfield Christian High Eagles. And were they able to fly past Lemoore, or they were able to fly past Lemoore last Friday, but could they keep feasting at home and keep their season rolling past Thanksgiving? Well, let's get to the action. Our game of the week, number 3 San Luis Obispo against number 2 BCHS. They're the Tigers, they're the Eagles, and Darren Carr, he's just feeling nice and happy about this one. We're going to start it off with the rushing game. David Stevenson, the senior for the Eagles, big time rush here before actually having to leave the game with an ankle injury, but this would set up the first touchdown of the game for the Eagles. But let's just jump to the defense. Emilio Corona for the Tigers, athletic quarterback, looking for his guy, read it and weep. Chris Gutierrez reads that pass all the way for the pick, but BCHS has more in them. Gabriel Zuniga, athletic catch here, another interception, the second of the night. That turnover turns into more BCHS points as Gamboni hits Ronnie Simrel. It's 14-0 as he slides right into the end zone. He's liking what they're showing, and they're liking what the defense is giving them. Here it's Jess Wattenberger stepping in for an injured Stevenson and stepping up. Another touchdown. Eagles making the most of this lead, 21-0. David Carr, he wants his offense to do a little bit more. Second half here, Gamboni to Gutierrez drops a dime. It is 28-0. The Tigers would finally get on the board, but Corona would be picked 6 total times on the night. And Big Ben here, that's Ben Jurasik, coming up with a nice touchdown catch in the end zone as BCHS leads 35-7, but the Eagles end up winning 35-14 and advancing to their second straight Valley Championship. This time, these seniors, they'll get to host this one.
Couldn't be more excited. We've been working since February for this moment. I know that all these guys, especially these seniors, we've been putting so much work, so to really see it pay off and all of us just get to this point, I'm excited.
When we won our last one, these guys were freshmen, these seniors, so they were up and they were just big-eyed, puppy dogs, man. So now they're watching, they're getting to live what they saw, a few years back, and hopefully they come through and work the tails off for it.
And we love to see it. They're getting to host Central Valley Christian next week. We're looking forward to that one. And so are those guys throwing up the dub, because W's are nice, right? We love to see W's. Well, there we go. There, I'm trying to show you guys. Well, Division 1, we're moving over there. And if you're wondering where Matt was, well, we had to send him up to Clovis for the 3rd seed of Liberty. Are making the trip to take another familiar foe on. This time it was Buchanan. Now, if you remember, last year, Liberty needed a last-second field goal to beat the Bears. But only time would tell if this matchup had some late-game drama. Let's take a look. Liberty taking on the Buchanan Bears, led by Georgia commit Kendall Milton. Pats without Hayden Mann, who's on the sideline yet again. Ramon Henderson, second play from scrimmage here. Ian Kirby to Darren Gaines. He goes 86 yards for the score. The crowd is excited about this one. Incredible stadium there at Veteran Stadium. But later in the first, Kirby finds Brandon Hernandez for 42 yards this time, and it's 13-0. And this about sums it up for Liberty. Second half here, Woods to pass, slips, and it's picked by their D-lineman. The Patriots would lose 27-0, and we're obviously emotional after this game. Sports reporter Matt Lively was up there in Clovis and has more on this heartbreaking loss.
Yeah, Carrie, we knew that if the Liberty Patriots were going to get a win tonight in the CIF Central Section D1 semifinals, they were going to have to overcome some adversity. First off, they were playing without senior QB Hayden Mann. He was sidelined for the 2nd straight week after having knee surgery a few weeks back. Sophomore QB and JV QB Carson Woods got the start. They were also without wide receiver Ramon Henderson. He's been getting looks from Notre Dame, Oklahoma, Washington, you name it. But when you ask Coach Brian Nixon what was wrong with the team, he just said they didn't punch it in when they needed to.
We missed opportunities, turnovers, and doing the little things right. We talked about doing the little things right, but at the end of the day, this group's a special group. I love them to death.
The Liberty defense did all they could, but it was only a matter of time until the Georgia commit and number 2 running back in the nation, Kendall Milton, got going. It was in this game last year when the Patriots knocked off the Bears to play in a Valley title, and while that may not be happening this season, Nixon still thinks the entire year was a success.
Let's play their tails off. They bust their butt day in and day out. They buy in. They spend a lot of time. They love each other. Our coaches coach their tails off. They love the kids, and it's a special group.
Final score here from Veterans Memorial Stadium, 27-0. Liberty season coming to a close. For 23 ABC Sports, I'm Matt Lively. Back to you, Carrie.
Thanks, Matt. Of course, we hate to see Liberty falling in that one, but now over to Division IV football. It was a rough end of the regular season for those Kennedy Thunderbirds, but they have responded in a big way in the playoffs. So the number 6 T-Birds rallied to win last week in Templeton. They'd hit the road once again, this time to take on Selma high up at Sanger. We're starting off in the second quarter here. Selma quarterback Joey Ramirez is going to make a long pass to Aaron Biancas, who is already waiting in the end zone. No defense in sight. It's 19-0 for the Selma Bears. Kennedy cheerleader there. She's still trying to get the spirit going for this team. Well, it seemed to work. Third quarter, Kennedy would strike back when quarterback Jose Cota, he uses his leg, does some damage, slips by the defense to take it all the way. It is 19-7 Selma with the lead. Kennedy still trying to keep the band and the spirits up. Fourth quarter, Selma quarterback again with another extraordinary pass to the same guy, Biancas, who takes it in to seal the deal, bringing Kennedy's season to a close, 27-7 the final. Kennedy's Mario Mion, after the game, tells us about this loss.
Again, I know it's going to hurt a little bit tonight, and I told them, and it's okay. It's okay to hurt. But once they wake up tomorrow morning, they start recognizing all that they've accomplished over the last 4 years, they're going to start really feeling really good about it. That's the whole thing. We have to make sure that in today's society, we got to make sure we can celebrate our successes. And I want to make sure that they don't just hang on this loss. They think back to the 10 wins that they had this year and the big wins that they had, and being on the road last week and being a higher seed, and just dwell on the positives. We need a lot of positives right now.
Well, one last game to get to, this time in Division VI. A flock making a deep postseason run this year. That flock is the Cal City Ravens. The number 2 Ravens looked impressive last week, even having one of the best plays all year long. Well, tonight they hosted the number 3 Arasi Cardinals. Starting this one off in the first quarter, Cal City decides to go for it on fourth. They're taking some courage into this one. Receiver breaks free, reversing the field for the first down. The very next play, well, here, we're still on this one. There we go. He reverses, gets out there, making some big-time plays. That's Quamaine Ross. He's doing damage for Cal City all along. Now, the very next play, handoff to Marquise McKenzie. Takes this one in for a touchdown after slipping past the defense. And the Ravens, they claw first, 6-0. Orosi would respond in the second quarter. Big man Freddie Arcega takes the handoff and finds the end zone. We're all tied up at 6 going into half. Third quarter here, same formation for the Cardinals, same result. Arcega finds the end zone and Orosi takes a 13-6 lead. The Ravens responding though. Jeremiah Neal finds McKenzie. It was Quamaine Ross last week. It's McKenzie this week with the spin, taking this one 50+ yards for the touchdown, but in the end it would be too much as Cal City would fall in this one with a final score of 23-12. So we had 4 teams. We just have 1 team left for next week, but stick with us because we're getting to my favorite part of the show. We still have top plays, top 3 and 23 when we return. The BCHS cheerleaders are excited because their team's still playing. Well, welcome back into Friday Night Live. What a round of semifinals for our local teams. Now we're going to take a look at the team that is advancing to the Central Section Championship games. Our lone team advanced into that state title game, as I just mentioned, the BCHS Eagles. They are set to take on number 8 Central Valley Christian Cavaliers. This one is next Friday at 7. And good thing for those Eagles, they will be hosting. And good thing for me because that means I get to stay in town. We love to see that. But now we're moving on to our favorite part of the show. We're getting into the top 3 on 23. We're going to start with the third play of the night. We're showing you Kennedy's quarterback, Jose Cota. This kid has been doing things with his legs all year long, and he did it again here, slipping through the defense to get into the end zone. It is a big-time play. Moving on to play number 2. We're going up to Cal City. Marquise McKenzie is going to make a big catch here, and then he slips the defense and books it into the end zone. That's what we like to call a fire play. And moving on to the top play of the night. Well, Bakersfield Christian, they had a lot of them, but we're going to give this one to Big Ben. Ben Urasic with the big-time play, the big-time catch. As he falls, he keeps his concentration and makes the touchdown as those Eagles win 35-14 and are moving on to a Valley Championship. We love to see that. We'll have all the action from that next week, and leading up, we'll be previewing the team. But again, congratulations to all of our teams over the course of the season. Y'all played really well, and we'll see you guys next week for Friday Night Live. One more week.